Welcome to my channel World of Coins, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. The 1967 Lincoln penny is a coin that at first glance might seem ordinary, but when you dive deeper into its history, design, and unique place in American coinage, it becomes something far more fascinating. This small copper coin carries with it stories of transition, experimentation, and hidden value that continues to capture the attention of collectors around the world. When we talk about 1967, we are looking at a time in American history where change was everywhere. From political shifts to cultural revolutions, the year itself was one of transformation. Even within the U.S. Mint, change was happening, and the humble Lincoln penny was not immune to these developments. The 1967 Lincoln Cent tells us more than just a tale of money, it tells us about an era of experimentation. To understand this coin, we must look back at its origins. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin was revolutionary in its time. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure, setting a precedent that has lasted until today. For decades, the design remained beloved by the public. The obverse showcased Lincoln's profile, while the reverse displayed two wheat stalks until 1959. In that year, the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This memorial reverse is what you will find on the 1967 penny, making it part of a newer chapter in the Lincoln series. The 1967 penny is notable because of the unique circumstances of its production. From 1965 to 1967, the United States Mint did not include mint marks on any coins. This decision was made to discourage hoarding of coins during a period when silver coins were being phased out and replaced by clad compositions. As a result, every 1967 penny lacks a mint mark, regardless of whether it was struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This absence of mint marks makes the 1967 penny stand out in history. Collectors who are used to tracking down different mint varieties find this period unusual. Instead of searching for D or S pennies, they are left with a coin that is uniform in appearance, yet still hiding some rare and collectible varieties. The coin itself is composed mostly of copper, with a small percentage of zinc and tin. This was the traditional composition used for decades until the transition to copper-plated zinc in 1982. That means that when you hold a 1967 penny, you're holding a piece of heavier, solid copper coinage, something many modern collectors appreciate for both nostalgia and value. When looking at the design more closely, we see Lincoln's dignified portrait on the obverse. The word Liberty is placed to the left of his image, while the date, 1967, rests to the right. Above his head is the timeless motto, "In God We Trust." The details in Lincoln's hair, beard, and coat can vary in sharpness depending on how well the coin was struck, which often matters to collectors searching for the finest examples. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely at this side of the coin under magnification, you can even see a tiny depiction of the statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial. This incredible detail, though often overlooked, is one of the most fascinating features of the Memorial Cent series. The words, United States of America, arc across the top of the reverse, while 1 cent is displayed prominently at the bottom. The motto, E Pluribus Unum, is inscribed just above the memorial. It's a bold and clear design that reflects mid-20th century American pride. While most 1967 pennies may not appear particularly rare, condition and errors make all the difference. Collectors often look for high-grade uncirculated coins, those that were never heavily handled or spent in circulation. Coins that retain their original luster and show no wear can fetch much higher values than those that have been used in everyday transactions, but perhaps the most intriguing part of the 1967 penny story lies in its errors and varieties. The minting process is not perfect, and occasionally mistakes slip through. These mistakes create coins that are rare and highly sought after. From double dies to misaligned strikes, certain 1967 pennies can be worth far more than their face value. One example is the double die variety, where the design elements appear doubled due to a mistake in the hubbing process. These errors can be seen most clearly in the lettering or the date. Collectors prize these coins because they are not only rare but also visually striking, another category to watch for are off-center strikes. These occur when the coin blank is not properly centered in the press, resulting in a design that is shifted to one side. Depending on how dramatic the off-center strike is, the value can increase significantly. There are also examples of clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to an error in cutting the blank. Though these are less common, they are still collectible and add to the fascinating world of 1967 Lincoln Cents. Proof coins from 1967 are another story worth mentioning. While the U.S. Mint suspended regular proof sets from 1965 to 1967, they instead released what were known as special mint sets. These sets contain specially prepared coins with better than average strikes and a satin-like finish. The 1967 pennies from these sets are of particular interest to collectors who enjoy coins with superior eye appeal. The condition of a 1967 penny is often graded on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS 70. The higher the grade, the greater the coin's potential value. For example, a 1967 penny in worn circulated condition might only be worth its face value, but a perfectly preserved mint state example could be worth many times more. Collectors often send their coins to professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. These organizations authenticate the coin, grade it, and then encapsulate it in a protective holder. A certified 1967 penny with a high grade can command premium prices in the marketplace. The popularity of the Lincoln Cent series cannot be understated. It remains one of the most widely collected coins in America, largely because it is so accessible. Almost everyone has handled a penny at some point, and many collectors began their journeys by searching through rolls of Lincoln Cents. For young numismatists, the 1967 penny often serves as a gateway into the world of coin collecting. Its affordable nature allows beginners to study design details, learn about grading, and explore the fascinating stories coins can tell. At the same time, for advanced collectors, the 1967 penny holds its own allure. With rare varieties, error coins, and the unique absence of mint marks, it has a special place in more serious collections. It's a coin that bridges the gap between beginner and expert, making it universally appealing. Over the years, some truly spectacular 1967 pennies have surfaced in auctions. When found in pristine condition with sharp details and no blemishes, these coins can attract competitive bidding from collectors eager to own the very best. Example, the true beauty of the 1967 penny lies in its blend of history, artistry, and rarity. It reminds us that even the smallest coins carry big stories. Every time you see one, you are holding a piece of American history shaped by the era in which it was made. For many collectors, finding a gem-quality 1967 penny or a rare error variety is like uncovering a hidden treasure. It's the thrill of the hunt that makes coin collecting so exciting, and the Lincoln Cent series continues to provide countless opportunities for discovery. So the next time you come across a 1967 penny in your change jar or coin roll, take a closer look. What may appear to be an ordinary coin could actually be something extraordinary. With the right eye and a bit of luck, you might just uncover a coin worth a small fortune. And speaking of value, some rare examples of the 1967 Lincoln penny in remarkable condition, or those with dramatic minting errors, have reached staggering prices at auction. The highest recorded value for one of these exceptional coins is $176,000. Top 2. The Lincoln penny has always held a special place in the world of American coins, and the 1974 edition is no exception. Although most people see it simply as a common copper coin, for collectors and historians it tells an incredible story of change, experimentation, and surprising value. The year 1974 brought with it a unique chapter in the Lincoln Cent's journey, making this small coin far more fascinating than it first appears. When we think about the United States in 1974, it was a year of economic turbulence and shifting policies. Inflation was on the rise, and the cost of producing coins was beginning to concern the U.S. Mint. Copper, the main ingredient in pennies for decades, was becoming more expensive. This meant that even the smallest denomination coin, the penny, was suddenly a financial challenge for the government. This situation led the mint to consider alternatives. While the majority of 1974 pennies were still struck in the traditional copper alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the mint also began experimenting with aluminum cents as a possible replacement. More than 1 million aluminum test cents were struck, although most were never released to the public. Today, those experimental coins are among the rarest and most talked about varieties in all of U.S. coinage. The regular 1974 penny, however, remained copper and continued the design that had already been in use since 1959. On the obverse, we see the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which first appeared in 1909. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust," to his left the word, "Liberty," and to his right, the date 1974. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial design by Frank Gasparo is displayed. This design had replaced the wheat ears reverse in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely, you'll see that even the statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial is included, a tiny detail that adds to the artistry of this coin. The absence or presence of a mint mark is another key feature to observe. In 1974, pennies were struck at multiple mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins with no mint mark were from Philadelphia, those with a D were struck in Denver, and those with an S came from San Francisco. Collectors often seek out examples from all three locations to complete their sets. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof coins in 1974, which were sold directly to collectors. These proof coins, with their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details, are some of the most attractive examples of the year. They represent the mint's highest quality of craftsmanship, though billions of 1974 pennies were produced, which makes them seem common. Rarity is found in condition and in unusual varieties. Coins that were never circulated and remain in pristine, mint state condition are the ones that stand out to collectors. A bright red, lustrous penny with no scratches or marks from 1974 can be far more valuable than one that has been passed around in everyday use for decades. Another fascinating aspect of the 1974 penny is the existence of error coins. During the minting process, mistakes can occur, and when they do, they often produce coins that collectors chase with great enthusiasm. Double Die Obverse, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and misstruck examples all add layers of interest to the year's production. For example, a double die penny from 1974 might show signs of doubling on the date or in the lettering. This happens when the die that strikes the coin is improperly made, creating a doubled image. These errors are relatively rare and can make an ordinary penny worth a significant premium. Off-center strikes are another exciting variety. If the coin blank was not properly aligned when struck, part of the design may be missing, while the blank metal surface is exposed. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more collectible the coin becomes. Clipped planchets are yet another possibility. This occurs when the sheet of metal used to cut the blanks overlaps incorrectly, resulting in coins with a crescent-shaped clip missing from the edge. These quirky coins often capture the imagination of collectors because of their distinct and unusual appearance. Then there are transitional errors tied to the aluminum cent experiment. While almost all of the experimental aluminum cents were supposed to be melted down, a few escaped into collectors' hands. Because of legal issues, the mint has demanded the return of these coins, making them among the most controversial pieces in American numismatics. Owning one can lead to legal complications, but their story is tied forever to the year 1974. The 1974 penny also serves as an educational tool. For new collectors, it's a coin that is easy to find but rich with history and variety. For seasoned collectors, the challenge lies in finding the finest quality examples, unusual mint errors, or even rare proofs that set their collection apart. Condition grading plays a huge role in value. Coins are judged on the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor 1 to mint state 70. A heavily worn 1974 penny is worth little more than face value, but one that grades at the top of the scale, full red, brilliant, and flawless, can command remarkable prices in auctions. professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC offer authentication and encapsulation of coins, giving buyers and sellers confidence. A 1974 penny in a certified high grade is far more likely to attract competitive bidding. Collectors also pay attention to strike quality, luster, and color. Lincoln cents are often categorized by color designations: brown, BN, red-brown, RB, and full red, RD. A 1974 cent with full red color is considered the most desirable because it reflects how the coin looked the day it was minted. The year 1974 also connects us with broader history. Abraham Lincoln remains one of the most revered American presidents, and his image on the cent keeps his legacy alive. At the same time, the economic concerns of the 1970s highlight the challenges of balancing tradition with practicality in coinage. For everyday Americans, pennies might have seemed insignificant in 1974, but behind the scenes at the mint, big decisions were being made about their future. The copper penny that year marked the end of an era, as rising costs pushed the mint closer to major changes. Indeed, by 1982 the mint would finally switch from solid copper pennies to copper-plated zinc cents, a transformation that had been considered years earlier in 1974. In this sense, the 1974 penny stands as a bridge between the traditional era of copper cents and the modern era of lighter, cheaper coinage. The legacy of the 1974 penny is also seen in how it continues to inspire collectors. Whether through its proof issues, experimental aluminum varieties, or dramatic errors, it offers something for everyone in the coin collecting community. Auction records have proven that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for the finest examples of this coin. The combination of condition, rarity, and historical significance drives the market. Even though billions were minted, the best of the best, those flawless, eye-catching examples, are treasures to be discovered. For many collectors, the search for one exceptional 1974 penny is a lifelong pursuit, and so, what begins as just a simple copper coin becomes a story of artistry, history, experimentation, and value. The Lincoln penny of 1974 is more than pocket change. It is a window into America's past and a reminder of how even the smallest coin can hold the biggest stories. For those fortunate enough to uncover a rare or flawless specimen, the rewards can be truly stunning. In fact, the highest value ever recorded for a rare 1974 Lincoln penny reached $138,000. Top 3. The Lincoln penny has always been one of the most iconic coins of the United States, and the 1975 edition continues that legacy. At first glance, the 1975 penny may look like any other small copper coin, but when you dig deeper into its history, design, and unique varieties, you'll see that it holds a fascinating story that blends artistry, tradition, and hidden value. The year 1975 was one of transition and tension in American history. The country was still healing from the effects of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal had shaken public trust, and the economy was facing the pressure of inflation. During such times, even the smallest denomination coin, the penny, remained a staple in the lives of everyday Americans. By 1975, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for more than 6 decades, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin broke new ground by being the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. That decision created a tradition that continues today. On the obverse of the 1975 penny, you find the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His face is presented in profile, facing right, with intricate details in his hair, beard, and coat. Above his head is the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left of his portrait sits the word, "Liberty," and to the right, the date 1975, sometimes accompanied by a mint mark. On the reverse, the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo introduced in 1959. This design replaced the earlier wheat ears reverse and was intended to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely, you can actually see the tiny seated statue of Lincoln within the memorial, a small detail that continues to amaze collectors. The 1975 penny was produced at 3 different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Pennies struck at Philadelphia carry no mint mark, Denver coins display a D, and San Francisco coins carry an S. Each mint struck millions of these coins, But collectors still enjoy the challenge of finding high-quality examples from each location. The San Francisco Mint also produced proof coins for collectors in 1975. Proof pennies are specially struck using polished dies and planchets, resulting in coins with mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. These proof coins are often among the most beautiful examples of the year. In terms of composition, the 1975 Lincoln Cent was still made from the traditional bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This was the same recipe used for decades, right up until 1982 when the mint switched to copper-plated zinc cents. Because of this, the 1975 penny feels heavier and more substantial than the modern pennies we use today. Although billions of 1975 pennies were produced, rarity and value are found in condition and unusual varieties. A heavily circulated penny from 1975 may only be worth face value, but a coin in pristine mint state condition, with full red luster, can be highly desirable among collectors. Collectors also keep a close eye on errors and varieties, and the 1975 penny is no exception. Errors occur during the minting process, and when they do, they often produce coins that are far more valuable than ordinary examples. One of the most popular error types is the double die. If you examine a 1975 penny and notice that the date or lettering appears to be doubled, you may have stumbled upon a rare double die variety. Such coins are prized by collectors for their rarity and striking visual effect. Another error type is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin is not properly aligned with the dies during the striking process, causing the design to appear off-center. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin. Clipped planchet errors are another possibility. These occur when the blank metal disc was improperly cut from the sheet, resulting in a coin with a curved piece missing from its edge. These errors are unusual and always capture the attention of error coin collectors. There are also instances of coins struck on the wrong planchet, where a penny might accidentally be struck on a planchet meant for a dime or a foreign coin. These rare mistakes are often worth a small fortune if discovered. Grading plays a crucial role in the value of a 1975 penny. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from poor, 1 to mint state, 70. While a worn example has little more than sentimental value, a flawless mint state coin with strong eye appeal can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity. Color is another factor collectors care about when it comes to Lincoln cents. Coins are often described as brown, red-brown, or red, depending on how much original luster remains. A full red 1975 penny, bright and glowing like the day it was minted, will always command the highest premiums. For collectors, the 1975 penny serves as both a common coin and a treasure hunt. Because so many were made, it's easy for beginners to find and collect them. But for advanced collectors, the thrill comes in seeking out the rarest errors, highest grades, and most stunning proof examples. The 1975 Lincoln penny also holds importance as part of a broader historical timeline. Just a few years later, in 1982, the transition to zinc cents would change the feel and look of the penny forever. In this way, the 1975 cent stands as one of the last solid copper coins before the modern era of lighter pennies. For many collectors, this adds nostalgia and charm to the coin. Holding a 1975 penny is like holding a small piece of history, one that feels more substantial than today's cents and carries with it the echoes of another era. Auction houses and coin shows have seen some remarkable 1975 pennies cross the block. Whether it's a flawless mint state example, a dramatic error, or a rare proof in perfect condition, these coins can spark competitive bidding and impressive prices. The Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most collected in all of U.S. coinage. Part of its appeal lies in accessibility. Anyone can start collecting pennies, even from pocket change. Yet within this simple series lies the potential for discoveries worth thousands. The 1975 penny in particular offers collectors a wide range of opportunities, from affordable circulated examples to rare treasures that have been preserved in pristine condition for nearly half a century. Its design reminds us of Lincoln's enduring legacy, its composition ties us to the tradition of copper coinage, and its varieties give collectors endless excitement. It is a coin that bridges the gap between history and hobby. The more one studies the 1975 Lincoln penny, the clearer it becomes that even the smallest coin has a story worth telling. It embodies artistry, tradition, and the fascinating unpredictability of the minting process. So, the next time you come across a penny from 1975, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Look closely, you might just be holding something far more special than you realize, and when it comes to value, the most remarkable examples of the 1975 Lincoln penny, in top condition or with rare minting errors, have achieved extraordinary prices. The highest recorded value for such a coin has reached $135,000. Top 4. The Lincoln penny has always been a coin that connects everyday Americans to their history, and the 1976 edition is a fascinating example of this. While most people might see it as just another small copper coin, the truth is that the 1976 penny carries with it the story of a changing nation, a beloved design, and even hidden treasures for coin collectors. The year 1976 was no ordinary time in the United States. It marked the bicentennial year, the 200th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Across the country, celebrations were in full swing, and the U.S. Mint released special bicentennial quarters, half dollars, and dollars with unique dual dates of 1776 to 1976. But interestingly, the penny did not receive a commemorative design, and this fact makes the 1976 cent stand out for an entirely different reason. While larger denominations proudly displayed bicentennial reverses, the penny quietly retained its familiar Lincoln Memorial design. This gives the 1976 penny an unusual distinction. It was part of the nation's bicentennial coinage era, yet it kept its traditional look. Collectors today find this contrast intriguing, as the coin represents continuity in the middle of national celebration and change. The obverse of the coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln created by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His profile faces right, with the word "Liberty" placed to his left, the motto, "In God We Trust," overhead, and the date, 1976, to the right, sometimes paired with a mint mark. Even during the bicentennial, Lincoln's steady presence on the penny was a reminder of American unity and leadership. The reverse side features Frank Gasparo's depiction of the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. If you look closely at this side of the coin with magnification, you can see a tiny image of the Lincoln statue seated inside the memorial. Above the building is the phrase, "E pluribus unum," while "United States of America" arcs across the top, and 1 cent rests at the bottom in bold lettering. 3 different mints struck the 1976 Lincoln Cent: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver pennies bear a D, and San Francisco produced S proof coins specifically for collectors. Each of these mints produced millions of coins, but finding high-quality examples today remains a challenge. The proof coins of 1976 are especially impressive. Struck in San Francisco using polished dies and special planchets, they exhibit mirror-like fields and sharp, frosted designs. These coins were sold in proof sets directly to collectors, and when well preserved, they are some of the most visually stunning Lincoln cents of the decade. The standard circulation strike pennies from Philadelphia and Denver were minted in large numbers, but their value depends heavily on condition. Coins that have been in circulation for decades often appear dull, worn, and brown. In contrast, uncirculated examples with bright red luster are highly prized by collectors and can command strong premiums. The composition of the 1976 penny was the same as it had been for decades: 95% copper and 5% zinc. This heavy, solid bronze alloy gives these older pennies a distinct look and feel compared to modern copper-plated zinc cents introduced in 1982. For many collectors, this alone makes coins like the 1976 penny more appealing. Of course, errors and varieties are what truly excite collectors, and the 1976 penny has several interesting possibilities. The most famous of these are double die varieties, which occur when the design on the coin is impressed more than once during the die creation process. A double die on the date, motto, or lettering can make a coin far more valuable. Off-center strikes are another type of mint error to watch for. These coins were not properly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is, these off-center 1976 pennies can be worth many times their face value. Clipped planchet errors, where a curved section of the coin is missing, are also found from time to time. These quirky pieces remind us that even the most automated minting processes are not immune to mistakes. Collectors love these oddities for their uniqueness. Sometimes pennies are even struck on the wrong planchet, such as a dime or foreign coin blank. Such dramatic minting errors are exceedingly rare but highly valuable when discovered. For 1976 pennies, any confirmed wrong planchet strike would be an exciting find. Grading plays a vital role in determining the value of the 1976 Lincoln Cent coins are evaluated on the Sheldon scale from poor, 1 to mint state, 70, with higher grades bringing significantly higher prices. While worn pennies are usually worth only face value, uncirculated examples in high mint state grades can be valuable treasures. Collectors also evaluate color. Copper coins naturally change over time, and 1976 pennies are categorized as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or full red, RD. Coins with their original fiery red luster are the most sought after and can fetch premium prices in the collector's market. Proof pennies from 1976 can also be graded, and perfect proof, 70 examples are incredibly rare. Their sharpness, shine, and beauty make them true showpieces for collectors who prize perfection. The 1976 penny also has historical charm. It serves as a reminder of America's bicentennial year, even though it did not feature a special design. For some collectors, that very fact makes it special. It represents stability in a time of celebration and reflects how Lincoln's image remained constant through America's milestones. Beyond its symbolism, the penny also offers a personal connection. Many people alive today can remember using these coins as children in the mid-1970s, whether to buy candy, pay for school lunches, or fill penny jars. That nostalgia adds emotional value, making the coin even more appealing. Auction records show that some 1976 pennies in pristine condition or with dramatic mint errors have sold for remarkable sums. These coins prove that even the most common-looking pennies can surprise us with hidden worth. For new collectors, the 1976 penny is an excellent starting point. It is affordable, easy to find, and carries a direct connection to America's bicentennial year. For advanced collectors, the challenge lies in finding the rarest varieties, highest grade examples, and unique errors that set a collection apart. The Lincoln Cent series remains one of the most collected in the entire world. Millions of people have searched through rolls of pennies looking for hidden gems, and coins like the 1976 cent continue to fuel that passion. Part of what makes the 1976 penny so engaging is the blend of accessibility and mystery. You can find one in your pocket change, yet you could also uncover a version worth thousands of dollars if it happens to be a rare variety or flawless specimen. In this way, the 1976 penny embodies the excitement of coin collecting. It shows us that every coin has potential, and that the smallest denomination can sometimes deliver the biggest surprises. Collectors today see the 1976 Lincoln penny as more than just a coin. It is a time capsule of American history, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, and a keepsake from one of the most patriotic years in the nation's past. Its enduring popularity proves that even the most ordinary-seeming coins can carry extraordinary stories. Every detail, from the Lincoln Memorial reverse to the fiery copper glow, adds to its character. So, the next time you spot a penny dated 1976, don't overlook it. Examine it carefully, because what appears to be pocket change could be a hidden treasure. With the right condition, rarity, or error, it might just be worth far more than 1 cent. And when we talk about true value, the most exceptional examples of the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny have sold for astounding amounts. The highest value ever recorded for this coin has reached $132,000. Top 5. The Lincoln Cent has always been one of the most recognized coins in the United States, and the 1977 penny is a fascinating part of that long tradition. At first, it may look like just another small copper coin, but when we explore its design, history, and collectible value, we discover a coin that has far more to tell than meets the eye. The year 1977 was a memorable one in American history. The country was moving forward after the turbulence of the early 1970s, with new leadership in Washington and cultural shifts taking place across the nation. Amidst all this, the humble penny continued to circulate, connecting millions of people in everyday transactions. By 1977, the Lincoln Cent had already been in use for nearly 70 years, first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin was groundbreaking because it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and it began a tradition that continues today. On the obverse of the 1977 penny is the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's image faces right, showing his dignified profile with carefully detailed hair, beard, and clothing. Above his head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," to his left is "Liberty," and to the right is the date, 1977, often accompanied by a mint mark. The reverse of the coin features Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design, which had replaced the earlier wheat ears reverse in 1959. The memorial is shown in fine detail, and with magnification you can even see a tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside. This hidden feature remains one of the most fascinating details of the design. The 1977 Lincoln Cent was produced at 3 different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins are marked with a D, and San Francisco struck proof coins that display an S. Each mint produced millions of pennies, but their appeal to collectors depends heavily on condition and rarity. The San Francisco Mint's proof coins are especially admired. Proof pennies are struck on carefully prepared planchets using polished dies, creating coins with mirror-like fields and sharp frosted details. Collectors often consider proof pennies to be miniature works of art, and the 1977 proof cents are no exception. The standard circulating pennies from Philadelphia and Denver were struck in massive numbers, but they are far from uninteresting. Though common in worn condition, uncirculated examples with brilliant red luster are surprisingly scarce today and can be quite valuable. The 1977 penny was still made from the traditional bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This heavier composition gives it a richer color and more substantial feel compared to modern copper-plated zinc pennies introduced later in 1982. Many collectors appreciate these earlier copper pennies for their durability and nostalgic appeal. While most 1977 pennies may seem ordinary, it's the rare errors and varieties that capture the imagination of collectors. Mistakes in the minting process can turn an everyday coin into a valuable rarity. One of the most exciting errors to look for is the double die. If the date, motto, or lettering on a 1977 penny appears doubled, you may be holding a scarce variety worth far more than face value. These coins occur when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned during hubbing, creating a doubled image. Another error type is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank is not properly centered during striking, leaving part of the design cut off. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the error coin becomes. Clipped planchet errors are also known for 1977 cents. These errors happen when the blank metal disc was improperly cut, leaving a crescent-shaped section missing. Such coins are instantly recognizable and collectible. There are even rare instances of coins struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a penny accidentally struck on a dime or foreign coin blank. This type of minting mistake is incredibly scarce but highly valuable when discovered. Condition and grading are crucial in determining the value of a 1977 Lincoln penny. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor 1 to mint state 70. While most circulated examples are worth little more than a cent, flawless uncirculated specimens can bring significant premiums. Color is another important factor in copper coins. Collectors categorize 1977 pennies as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or full red, RD. A bright red coin that looks as if it just left the mint is the most desirable and valuable. Proof coins are also graded, and the rarest examples achieve perfect proof 70 status. These coins are admired for their flawless appearance, deep mirrored fields, and sharp frosted details. A perfect 1977 proof penny can be worth much more than one might expect. The 1977 penny also has historical importance. It represents one of the final years before the 1980s economic challenges forced changes in America's coinage. Within just a few years, the copper composition of the penny would be replaced with zinc, making coins like the 1977 cent a link to the older, heavier tradition of U.S. coinage. For everyday people, pennies in 1977 may have seemed like small change, but for collectors today, they are part of a larger narrative. Each coin is a miniature time capsule, reflecting not only artistry but also the economic and cultural conditions of the year it was made. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most widely collected in the world. Beginners often start by filling penny albums with coins found in circulation, while advanced collectors search for rare errors, high-grade specimens, and proofs that complete a more specialized collection. The 1977 penny offers opportunities for both groups. It is accessible for beginners yet still holds enough mysteries and rarities to intrigue seasoned numismatists. Whether you're hunting for a brilliant red mint state example or an unusual error coin, the 1977 cent has plenty to offer. Auction results prove this point. Some 1977 pennies in pristine condition or with dramatic minting errors have sold for impressive sums, far above their face value. These results highlight the fact that even a simple copper coin can become a valuable treasure under the right circumstances. The design of the 1977 penny also continues to remind us of Abraham Lincoln's legacy. His portrait, steady and dignified, represents one of the most admired presidents in American history. The Lincoln Memorial reverse, meanwhile, captures the enduring symbol of unity and freedom. For collectors and historians alike, the 1977 penny is not just a coin but a connection to the values and traditions of the United States. It tells the story of a time in history, a piece of art, and a collectible all at once. The coin also highlights one of the most exciting aspects of numismatics, the idea that even the smallest coin can carry an extraordinary story and unexpected value. It is a reminder that treasures can often be found in the most ordinary places. So the next time you find a penny dated 1977 in your pocket change, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look, because what seems like a common coin might actually be a rare variety or a flawless example waiting to be discovered. And when we talk about true value, some of the finest known examples of the 1977 Lincoln penny, whether flawless mint state coins or dramatic minting errors, have achieved astonishing prices. The highest recorded value for this coin has reached $129,000. Top 6. The Lincoln Cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history, and the 1980 penny is a piece that continues the legacy of a coin series stretching back to the early 20th century. While it may look small and ordinary, the 1980 penny has its own unique story, connected to the economy, artistry, and minting traditions of the United States. The year 1980 was an important one in the nation's history. It was a time of political transition, with the end of one era and the beginning of another, as well as a period of shifting economic challenges. Against this backdrop, millions of pennies were produced and used in everyday commerce, quietly becoming part of the daily lives of Americans. The obverse of the 1980 penny features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. This design was first introduced in 1909 by Victor David Brenner and has remained on the cent ever since. Lincoln's dignified profile, with its fine details and serious expression, continues to symbolize strength and leadership. On the obverse, above Lincoln's head, appears the inscription, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word "Liberty," and to the right of Lincoln's portrait is the date, 1980. Depending on where the coin was struck, you may also see a small mint mark beneath the date. The reverse side of the 1980 penny displays the Lincoln Memorial, a design created by Frank Gasparo and first introduced in 1959. The memorial is shown with intricate detail, and careful examination reveals the tiny image of a seated Lincoln inside, a feature that has fascinated collectors for decades. In 1980, the Lincoln Cent was produced at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, while those from Denver feature a D, and proof coins from San Francisco carry an S. Each of these versions has its own appeal to collectors. Philadelphia and Denver produced massive quantities of pennies in 1980, intended for circulation. These coins are common in worn condition, but high-grade examples with sharp details and bright luster are far less common and can be worth much more than face value. The San Francisco Mint struck proof coins, which were never intended for circulation. These coins were made with special care, using polished dies and carefully prepared blanks, resulting in a mirror-like finish with frosted details. The 1980 S-proof penny is especially attractive to collectors who appreciate its craftsmanship. The 1980 penny was still made of the traditional bronze alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc. This gives it a richer color and a heavier weight compared to the copper-plated zinc pennies that would become the standard only a few years later in 1982. Many collectors value these earlier copper coins for their durability and classic appearance. While the 1980 penny is generally considered a common coin, there are rare varieties and minting errors that can make certain examples highly valuable. These errors turn an ordinary cent into a collector's treasure point. One of the most well-known error types is the double die. If parts of the coin's design appear doubled, such as the date, lettering, or motto, it may be a double die error. These coins are rare and sought after by collectors who enjoy varieties with unusual visual characteristics. Off-center strikes are another type of error that can occur. If the coin blank was not properly centered during striking, part of the design will appear missing or cut off. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is, these coins can be worth significantly more than face value. Clipped planchets are another exciting error that can be found in 1980 pennies. These coins are missing a curved section of the metal blank due to mistakes in the cutting process at the mint. They are easily recognizable and collectible. Sometimes, coins are struck on the wrong planchet altogether. Imagine a penny struck on a dime blank or even on a foreign coin blank. Such errors are very rare, but when discovered, they can be incredibly valuable to collectors. The value of a 1980 penny also depends heavily on its condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor 1 to mint state 70. While most circulated 1980 pennies are worth only face value, pristine uncirculated coins can bring impressive premiums. Color is another key factor for copper coins. Collectors describe them as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or full red, RD. A full red 1980 penny, with vibrant luster and no signs of fading, is the most desirable and can command much higher prices. Proof coins from 1980 are also graded, and the most perfect examples can achieve proof 70 status. These coins are rare and admired for their flawless surfaces and striking beauty, making them highly collectible. The 1980 penny also represents a transition in American coinage history. Just 2 years later, the mint would switch from copper to primarily zinc planchets in order to save on rising metal costs. That makes the 1980 penny one of the last of the classic heavy copper cents. For many people, pennies in 1980 were nothing more than small change, easily overlooked in pockets and drawers. But today, collectors see them as historical artifacts, tiny pieces of metal that reflect the economy, artistry, and technology of their time. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most popular in numismatics. It appeals to both beginners and advanced collectors. Beginners often start with Lincoln pennies because they are affordable and widely available, while advanced collectors hunt for rare errors, high grades, and unusual varieties. The 1980 penny offers opportunities for both groups. It can be found in circulation, making it accessible to new collectors, but it also hides rare gems like dramatic minting errors or pristine red uncirculated examples that seasoned collectors eagerly seek. Auction records show that 1980 pennies in exceptional condition or with rare varieties have sold for surprising amounts. This proves that even modern-era coins can be worth far more than one might expect. The design of the Lincoln Cent also carries deep meaning. Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the memorial on the reverse remind us of his enduring legacy and the values of unity and leadership he represents. Every 1980 penny, whether common or rare, is a miniature time capsule. It reflects not only the artistry of its engravers but also the circumstances of its production and the history of the nation at the time. Collectors often say that part of the excitement of numismatics is the thrill of discovery. A coin that looks ordinary in your hand might turn out to be an error or a high-grade rarity worth hundreds or even thousands of times its face value. So the next time you see a 1980 penny, don't dismiss it too quickly. Look carefully. It could be a coin that hides a fascinating story or even significant value, because when it comes to collecting coins, the smallest details make the biggest difference, and that is what keeps the 1980 penny such a captivating part of the Lincoln Cent series. And when we talk about its highest value, rare examples of the 1980 Lincoln penny in pristine condition or with dramatic errors have reached the astonishing price of $110,000. Top 7. The Lincoln 1-cent coin is a cornerstone of American coinage, and the 1981 penny holds a unique place in its long history. While it may appear as just another copper cent to the casual, for collectors it represents the end of an era in United States coinage. The year 1981 was significant because it marked the last full year the Lincoln penny was struck in the traditional bronze composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. The very next year, in 1982, the U.S. Mint would switch to a new copper-plated zinc composition to reduce rising metal costs. That makes the 1981 penny the final chapter of a legacy stretching back more than 70 years. The obverse of the 1981 penny features the timeless portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. This profile has become one of the most familiar images in all of American numismatics, symbolizing leadership, freedom, and integrity. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust." To the left of the portrait is the word "Liberty," while the date, 1981, appears on the right side. A mint mark may also appear beneath the date, depending on where the coin was struck. The reverse side of the 1981 penny carries Frank Gasparo's design of the Lincoln Memorial, which replaced the earlier wheat ears reverse in 1959. The memorial design is detailed and elegant, and with a magnifying glass you can even see the tiny seated statue of Lincoln inside. The coin was minted at 3 different locations in 1981, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins feature a D, and San Francisco struck-proof coins marked with an S. Each has its own collecting appeal. Circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver were produced in massive numbers. These coins are common in worn condition, but pristine uncirculated examples with bright red luster are far more difficult to find and command higher values. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins in 1981, and these are particularly admired for their beauty. Proof coins are struck multiple times with polished dies on specially prepared planchets, creating sharp details and mirror-like fields. One of the unique aspects of 1981 proof pennies is that they exist in 2 different varieties, Type 1 and Type 2. The difference lies in the style of the S mint mark. Type 1 features a more filled-in S, while Type 2 shows a clearer, more refined S. Collectors often seek out both versions for a complete set. For the regular circulation coins, the 1981 penny is made of the traditional bronze alloy. This heavier, copper-rich composition gives the coin a warmer color and more durable feel compared to the lighter zinc-based pennies that followed. Collectors value the 1981 penny not only for its design and history but also for the minting errors and varieties that sometimes occur. These rare mistakes transform an ordinary penny into a prized collectible. One of the most exciting error types is the double die, where parts of the design such as the date, motto, or lettering appear doubled. These coins are rare and can be worth significant sums. Off-center strikes are another dramatic error. If the coin blank was not properly aligned during striking, part of the design will be cut off, leaving an unusual appearance that collectors find fascinating. Clipped planchet errors are also known among 1981 cents. These coins are missing a curved portion of the blank because of mistakes during the cutting process. Such errors are easy to spot and highly collectible. There are even examples of coins struck on the wrong planchet altogether. Imagine finding a penny struck on a dime or foreign coin blank. These are extremely rare but extraordinarily valuable when discovered. The grading and condition of a 1981 penny are critical to determining its value. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from poor 1 to mint state 70. Most circulated examples are worth only face value, but uncirculated specimens with sharp details and nowhere can sell for much more. Color is also an important factor for copper coins. Collectors classify them as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or full red, RD. The brightest, full red examples are the most desirable and bring the highest prices. Proof coins, especially from San Francisco, are graded on similar scales, with the most perfect examples earning proof 70 status. These coins are considered flawless and are sought after for their beauty and rarity. The 1981 penny also represents a turning point in U.S. coinage. With copper prices rising, the mint knew it would soon need to reduce production costs. This led to the introduction of copper-plated zinc pennies in 1982, forever changing the composition of the cent. For that reason, the 1981 penny is the last widely issued U.S. cent made from the classic bronze alloy, making it historically significant and beloved among collectors. Although millions were minted, most have long since circulated heavily. High-quality, uncirculated examples and error varieties are much scarcer, making them desirable for collectors who appreciate both history and rarity. The Lincoln Cent series as a whole is one of the most popular areas of coin collecting. Many collectors start with Lincoln pennies because they are easy to find in circulation, yet the series also offers rare dates and varieties that challenge even advanced numismatists. The 1981 penny fits into both categories, common enough to be accessible, but with rare varieties and perfect proofs that provide excitement and value for seasoned collectors. Auction results show that some 1981 pennies, especially proof Type 2 coins in top condition, have sold for impressive amounts. This proves that even a modern-era penny can achieve remarkable value under the right circumstances. Beyond its monetary value, the 1981 penny remains a reminder of Abraham Lincoln's enduring legacy. His portrait has graced the cent for more than a century, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The Lincoln Memorial reverse also carries deep meaning, symbolizing unity and the ideals that Lincoln fought for. Together, the obverse and reverse of the coin make the 1981 penny a powerful symbol of American heritage. For collectors, the 1981 penny is more than just a coin, it is a connection to history, a piece of art, and a collectible that tells the story of change in America's coinage. So the next time you come across a penny dated 1981, take a moment to look closely. What may seem like an ordinary coin might actually be a rare error or a pristine example worth far more than its face value, because in coin collecting, the smallest details often reveal the greatest treasures. The 1981 Lincoln penny proves that even the most familiar coin can hold extraordinary significance, and when it comes to value, rare and pristine examples of the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny have reached as high as $107,000. Top 8. The Lincoln 1-cent coin is one of the most collected coins in America, and the 1982 penny is one of the most fascinating entries in the series. What makes this year so special is that it marked one of the biggest changes in U.S. coinage history, making the 1982 penny a landmark for collectors. By 1982, the United States Mint faced a serious problem. The cost of producing pennies was becoming higher than the value of the coin itself. With copper prices rising dramatically, it was no longer practical to continue making the cent in its traditional bronze alloy. For decades, pennies had been struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc. This gave the coins a warm color and a heavier weight. But in 1982, the Mint made the decision to change the composition of the cent to save money. The new pennies would be made of a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. This change meant that 1982 became a year of transition. Both the old bronze pennies and the new copper-plated zinc pennies were minted that year, leading to a wide variety of coins that collectors now carefully study and categorize. On the obverse of the 1982 penny is the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's face is shown in profile, with fine details that have become iconic over more than a century of U.S. coinage. Above Lincoln's head is the phrase, "In God We Trust," to the left is the word, "Liberty," and to the right is the date, 1982. Depending on where the coin was struck, a mint mark may also appear beneath the date. The reverse of the coin carries Frank Gasparo's design of the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used since 1959. With careful inspection, the tiny statue of Lincoln can be seen inside the memorial, a detail that continues to impress collectors. The 1982 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins show a D, and San Francisco struck proof coins that display an S. Each type offers something unique for collectors. What makes 1982 especially complex is that there are 7 different recognized varieties of Lincoln cents for that year. These include large date and small date designs, as well as coins struck in both copper and zinc compositions. The large date and small date varieties are based on the shape of the numbers in the year. The small date versions have thinner, more delicate numerals, while the large date versions are bolder. Both copper and zinc cents can be found in each style, making it an exciting challenge for collectors. Collectors often use a simple test to distinguish copper from zinc. 1982 pennies. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while a zinc penny weighs only 2.5 grams. This difference is enough to tell them apart with a scale. Proof coins from San Francisco were all struck in copper composition and display a beautiful, mirror-like finish. These coins were made for collectors and never intended for circulation, which is why they remain highly prized today. Minting errors also add excitement to the 1982 penny. With so many varieties and changes happening that year, mistakes were more likely to occur, and some of those mistakes turned into rare collectible treasures. Double die errors are always in demand, where parts of the design such as the date or lettering appear doubled. These coins are rare but highly sought after by collectors who value unusual varieties. Off-center strikes are another possibility. where the design is not properly aligned on the coin. Depending on how far off the strike is, these errors can range from minor oddities to dramatic rarities. Clipped planchets also appear occasionally, where a curved piece of the coin's edge is missing due to an error in cutting the blanks. These mistakes are distinctive and instantly recognizable. Even more intriguing are transitional errors. For example, a 1982 penny struck in the wrong composition for its intended variety can be a highly valuable rarity. Such coins remind us how important this transitional year was for U.S. coinage. Condition plays a huge role in the value of a 1982 penny. Most circulated examples are worth only face value, but uncirculated coins with sharp details and brilliant red color can be worth much more. Collectors also classify copper coins based on their color. They are described as brown, BN, red-brown, RB, or full red, RD. Full red examples with bright luster are the most desirable and bring the highest prices. Proof coins are graded separately, with the most perfect examples earning Proof 70 status. These coins are flawless in appearance and command strong interest in the market. The 1982 penny stands out because it reflects a major turning point in American coinage. From that year forward, the U.S. Mint would continue producing mostly copper-plated zinc pennies, which remain in circulation today. For collectors, this makes 1982 one of the most exciting years in the Lincoln Cent series. It offers a wide variety of coins to hunt for, from large and small dates to copper and zinc compositions, as well as special proofs and unusual errors. The Lincoln Cent series is already one of the most popular in the world, and the 1982 pennies add an extra layer of depth and challenge for anyone trying to complete a collection. Auction results prove that even modern pennies can achieve impressive values. When pristine condition, rare errors, or unique transitional varieties are involved, these coins can fetch surprising amounts. Beyond its value, the 1982 penny is a piece of history. It captures the story of a nation adjusting to economic pressures and making decisions that would shape its coinage for decades to come. The portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse reminds us of his leadership and enduring legacy, while the Lincoln Memorial reverse honors the principles of unity and freedom that he stood for. Together, these designs and the unique story of 1982 make this penny far more than just a small piece of change. It is a symbol of change itself, a reminder of how even the smallest coins can reflect the challenges of a nation. So the next time you come across a penny dated 1982, don't overlook it. Take a closer look at the date, the weight, and the details. You might just have a rare variety in your hands, because hidden in these coins are stories of transition, history, and sometimes even great value. And that is what makes the 1982 penny one of the most interesting coins in the Lincoln Cent series. And when it comes to value, some of the rarest and finest known examples of the 1982 Lincoln penny have sold for as much as $104,000. Top 9. The Lincoln 1-cent coin has been a cornerstone of American currency for more than a century, and each year tells its own unique story. The 1985 penny, while common at first glance, carries history, artistry, and surprising collector value when viewed closely. The mid-1980s were a time of economic change in the United States. Inflation and the cost of raw materials had already reshaped coinage earlier in the decade. By 1985, the penny was fully struck in the newer copper-plated zinc composition, which had replaced the heavier bronze alloy in 1982. This shift in composition gave the 1985 penny a different look and feel compared to older cents. It is lighter in weight, ringing with a different tone when dropped, and more prone to corrosion because of its zinc core. Still, it carries the same familiar design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The obverse design, created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, shows a dignified profile of Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above his head appears the inscription, "In God We Trust." To his left is the word "Liberty," while the date, 1985, appears to his right, sometimes with a mint mark below. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's design of the Lincoln Memorial is displayed. The building is shown with great detail, and if you look closely, the statue of Lincoln is visible within the memorial itself. The reverse also carries the words, "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and the denomination, 1 cent. The 1985 penny was minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins have a D, and San Francisco produced proof coins marked with an S. Each type appeals to different kinds of collectors. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 1985, making them common in circulation. However, high-grade examples that have never been used remain much harder to find and are prized by collectors. The Denver Mint also struck large quantities, and many 1985 D pennies are available today. Yet, just like those from Philadelphia, coins in flawless mint state condition are far scarcer than ordinary circulated pieces. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins in 1985, specially made for collectors. These coins were struck on carefully polished planchets with multiple strikes from polished dies, resulting in mirror-like fields and frosted designs. They are some of the most visually stunning examples of the penny. Collectors often distinguish proof coins from circulation strikes not only by their sharp details but also by the clarity of the S mint mark. A 1985 S-proof penny in perfect proof, 70 grade can be a true prize in a collection. While most 1985 pennies are common, errors and varieties add excitement. These rare mistakes make certain examples valuable and highly collectible. Double die varieties are one such rarity. If the date, lettering, or motto appears doubled under magnification, it may be a double die penny. These coins are scarce and can command strong premiums. Off-center strikes are another error that fascinates collectors. These coins show part of the design missing because the blank was not properly centered during striking. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more valuable the coin. Clipped planchets also appear among 1985 pennies. These coins are missing a portion of their edge due to mistakes when the blanks were cut from the metal sheet. They are easy to spot and are collected for their uniqueness. Sometimes, coins are struck on the wrong planchet altogether. A penny struck on a dime blank, for example, would weigh less and appear silver-colored. Such errors are extremely rare but highly sought after. Because the 1985 penny is made of copper-plated zinc, it is also vulnerable to plating errors. These can include missing copper coating or uneven coverage, leaving parts of the zinc core exposed. Such pieces stand out instantly and attract strong collector interest. When it comes to value, condition is everything. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from poor 1 all the way to mint state 70. Circulated examples are usually worth only face value, but uncirculated examples with sharp details and full luster are much more desirable. Proof coins are graded on their own scale, and the highest grade proof 70 deep cameo examples are the most valuable. These flawless coins are admired for their beauty as much as for their rarity. Even among circulation strikes, coins with full, red color are far more valuable than those that have toned brown or lost their luster. Collectors pay premiums for coins that look like they just left the mint. The 1985 penny also represents a broader story in U.S. coinage. By this time, the transition to zinc-based cents was complete, and the nation had settled into a new era of coin production that continues today. Although many people consider the penny to be insignificant, for collectors it holds enormous importance. Each year, even common ones like 1985, can produce rare errors, scarce conditions, and historical significance that make the coin worth studying. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most collected coin series in the world. From beginners filling penny albums to advanced collectors chasing rare varieties, the series offers something for everyone. The 1985 penny may seem ordinary, but in flawless condition or with dramatic errors, it transforms from pocket change into a collectible treasure. Stories of collectors finding such coins in rolls or even loose change fuel the passion for searching. Auction results show that even modern pennies can achieve impressive values when the right combination of rarity and condition comes together. For the 1985 penny, certain pristine examples and rare errors have commanded attention and high prices. Beyond its market value, the 1985 penny continues to remind us of Abraham Lincoln's legacy. His portrait on the coin has endured for more than a century, becoming one of the most recognizable images in U.S. coinage. The Lincoln Memorial reverse also holds symbolic meaning, representing unity, freedom, and the nation Lincoln worked so hard to preserve. Together, these designs keep the penny not only useful but meaningful. For collectors and history enthusiasts alike, the 1985 penny is more than just a coin. It is a link to American history, a piece of art, and a collectible that proves the smallest objects can carry the greatest stories. So the next time you see a penny dated 1985, don't overlook it. What may seem like an ordinary coin could be a rare error or a high-grade specimen waiting to be discovered. because when it comes to coin collecting, every detail matters, and the 1985 penny is proof that even the most common coins can become extraordinary under the right circumstances, and when it comes to value. Some of the rarest and finest examples of the 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny have sold for as much as $95,000. Top 10. The Lincoln penny has been an everyday companion for Americans for more than a century, and each year of its production has its own story to tell. The 1998 penny is one of those coins that may seem ordinary at first glance, yet it carries history, hidden varieties, and collector intrigue that make it far more than just a piece of pocket change. By 1998, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for nearly 90 years. First introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the decades, it became the most familiar coin in American currency. The 1998 Lincoln cent is part of the long-running Memorial Reverse series, which began in 1959. On the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's dignified portrait faces right, accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. On the reverse, Frank Gasparo's detailed design of the Lincoln Memorial dominates. Above the memorial appear the words, "United States of America," and "E Pluribus Unum," while at the bottom is the denomination, 1 cent. This reverse design ran for exactly 50 years before being replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009. The 1998 penny was struck in massive numbers. Billions of these coins were minted at both Philadelphia, with no mint mark, and Denver, with a small D mint mark under the date. San Francisco also produced special proof versions marked with an S. Like all modern pennies since 1982, the 1998 cent was made from copper-plated zinc. Its core is mostly zinc, with a thin outer layer of copper giving it the familiar reddish look. This change from the older bronze alloy was made to reduce costs, as copper prices had soared. The zinc core makes coins like the 1998 penny lighter in weight than older bronze cents. However, it also makes them more fragile, since zinc can corrode if the thin copper coating wears away. This is why collectors often seek well-preserved examples with their copper luster intact. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 5 billion pennies in 1998, while Denver struck nearly the same amount. With such large numbers, most of these coins remain common, but condition and rarity play a huge role in their collector value. Proof pennies from San Francisco were produced in much smaller quantities, aimed directly at collectors. These coins were made with special care, featuring mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. A proof 1998 penny in perfect grade can be especially appealing. What makes the 1998 penny particularly interesting to collectors are the varieties and errors found among its production. These small differences make certain examples stand out dramatically from the billions of ordinary strikes. One of the most famous varieties is the 1998 wide AM penny. On most 1998 cents, the letters A and M in America on the reverse are close together. But on the wide AM variety, the letters are spaced farther apart. This mistake happened because a reverse die intended for proof coins was accidentally used on circulation strikes. The wide AM variety is extremely popular among collectors. It is far rarer than the standard close spacing, and its value rises significantly in high grades. It's a coin that casual collectors often hunt for in pocket change or coin rolls. Alongside the wide AM, there are also double die varieties. On these coins, parts of the design appear slightly doubled, often on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait. These coins are scarce and highly collectible. Other error types include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing due to a misaligned blank, and clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin's edge is cut away. Such errors are visually striking and stand out immediately. Some 1998 pennies were also struck on improperly prepared planchets, including coins missing part of their copper plating. These errors leave exposed zinc patches that make the coin unusual and appealing to collectors. When evaluating a 1998 penny, condition is one of the most critical factors. Circulated coins are usually only worth face value, but uncirculated coins with bright red luster can fetch much higher prices. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from poor 1 to mint state 70. A 1998 penny in mint state 67 or higher with full red color is far rarer than one in lower grades. These are the coins that stand out at auctions. Proof coins also have their own grading scale, with the best examples showing deep cameo contrast between the frosted designs and mirror-like fields. A proof, 1998's penny is a true showcase piece for any collection. The popularity of the wide AM variety has made the 1998 penny an exciting year to study. Collectors often search through thousands of coins looking for this variety, which can sell for hundreds of dollars or more depending on condition. Beyond varieties, even ordinary 1998 pennies tell a story. They represent a time when the United States was preparing to enter a new millennium, with the penny continuing its role as the nation's most widely used coin. The Lincoln Cent itself has become a cultural icon. Its small size and long history make it a favorite among new collectors who often start by filling penny albums with each date and mint mark. For advanced collectors, chasing varieties like the 1998 wide AM or rare mint errors adds an extra layer of challenge and reward. It proves that even modern coins can hold surprises. Auction records reveal that some 1998 pennies in the finest condition have sold for impressive sums, far exceeding their face value. These results show how much demand exists for top quality and rare examples. The enduring appeal of the Lincoln penny is rooted not just in its design, but in the legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. His image has graced the coin since 1909, making it the longest-running portrait in U.S. coinage history. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse also carries deep symbolism. It represents national unity, freedom, and the memory of the president who helped preserve the nation during its darkest time. Holding a 1998 penny, one holds more than just a coin. It is a piece of history, an object of art, and sometimes, a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. That is the thrill of coin collecting, the idea that something extraordinary can be hiding in plain sight, even among the most common coins in circulation. So the next time you come across a penny from 1998, take a closer look. You may find a rare wide AM variety, an unusual error, or even a high-grade example that could be worth far more than 1 cent. And when it comes to value, some of the rarest and finest examples of the 1998 Lincoln 1 cent penny have sold for as much as $57,000.